Hey, my lovelies. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Daily Vibration. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. My name is Kamoy, and we are doing the Daily Vibration for June 1st, 2021. Wow, yeah. We are currently in the first day of June 2021, which means that we are currently pretty much halfway through the year. Yeah, can you believe that? Now, the ruling number of the day is the number three. So, if you are new to the channel, right, this is how it works. It does not matter when you click on this episode or when you click on this video. What matters, my love, is that you are able to take what you need and leave what you do not. Okay, that's going to be important. All right. So we currently have the moon position in Pisces, and the sun is currently positioned in Gemini, and we are going through a retrograde. Okay. And we're gonna do something different today because I pulled the energy for the elements, and it's telling a story, guys. Right? It's telling a story. Now, in the lecture on Saturday, we talked about the spin. We talked about people are beginning to spin energetically, which is going to play out emotionally, mentally, and in some ways, that's also going to play out on a physical level. Okay, that's important for you to recognize and to understand. Because if you can recognize that and you can understand that, then you can get past other people's bullshit and tap into your stuff. And then you can also recognize your bullshit so you can work on your shit. Okay? Now, it's important for you to know that you are not responsible for anyone emotions or anyone responses, but you are responsible for your emotions and your responses and your reactions and your will to be able to take action, right? Now, that does not mean that you get to go around doing, spiteful and vindictive things to hurt people. That does not mean that. That means that you begin to honor yourself, which in turns should allow you the freedom and the privilege to have others to do the same, right? So the world is not going to change by you going out there and changing or trying to force change on others. The world is going to change when each individual realize that change happens when they change, right? I've been having some beautiful experiences where I'm really seeing right in front of me how I have created a beautiful haven for myself. Right. I told you guys I don't really watch the news. I don't watch the news unless I'm led to. And then usually when I'm led to watch the news, it's really just about what's going on, trying to find out exactly how that aligns to where I am, and just cosmically, to get a message. Really, that's why I watch the news, right? That's why I mostly do anything when I sit and give my attention. It's me about really learning. Now that is, a lot of my makeup here, to learn, to share, to help. I don't even want to use the word help because I've become in a place where I realize that do you really help anybody or do people help themselves? You can be an inspiration for someone helping themselves. So I would say if I had to use a word, it would be more like I'm just here to heal. So as I heal me, right? My extension of my healing then allow others to heal, right? So I don't necessarily want to say help. I am here to help. There you go, that word again. I am here to heal. you know, I am here to heal. Or if I'm going to use the word help, I would like to attach to that word help heal. All right. I don't necessarily think that other people cannot change you. You would have to be the one to change you. Okay. So as you heal, you allow others to heal. You allow them that freedom. Now, whether or not they take that freedom, it's up to them. But you allow them that freedom. Right? And that's the vibration that I'm tapping into now, right? Spirit has been sharing with me, like, sometimes you think you're helping and you're really not. Right? People come for different reasons. So, Monthlies are going to be out on Patreon. Let me just say that. Starting today, you guys can see the monthly elementals going up, right? So we're going to map out the months. And don't forget, we're in a new month, which means that we're going to be meeting on the 23rd of June for the live karma and ancestor reading. So you guys want to make sure you show up for that if you're part of the Patreon community so you can get your life reading. Okay? So today we're going to do something a little different, because when I pulled the cards for the elements, they were saying the message. Okay, so let's just start off and jump into what's going on within the energy right now. We currently have the sun position in Gemini, like I stated, and the moon is in Pisces. So you have an opportunity to do some major healing here, especially if we're in this retrograde energy, right? Now, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, but it's also co-ruled by Jupiter, right? So you have Neptune bringing in that spiritual awakening, but it can also bring in some illusions, right? Pisces can be full of illusions, and the illusion would play out as self-projection, self-sabotage, self-doubt, right? Stress. Okay, illusions can play out in that way, right? Now, let's talk about the air energy, because we are in Gemini season, right? Air energy is going to represent Gemini. It's also going to represent Libra and Aquarius. If you are not a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, you can still tap into all of this beautiful energy, because it is there for you to partake in. Okay, you are not just responsible for mastering your sun sign, but you are responsible for mastering all aspects of yourself, which is made up within that zodiac wheel. They're archetypes. Okay, they're energies that flow in and through you, right? And connects you to everything. So if you can understand these archetypes, you can better understand yourself and how and why you're here, right? So with the air elements, if you're not an air sign, this will be your spiritual or your mental thinking, all right? So you can utilize the Gemini energy by the I think aspect of yourself versus what you don't think, right? You can utilize the Libra energy with I balance versus the things that are unbalanced in your life, what needs to be balanced. And you can also represent Aquarius energy by I know versus what I don't know. Now, each one of these signs have ruling planets, and within these ruling planets and within these houses, they represent different things. Okay, we're going to get into that the more that we go through these vibrations. You may hear me mention different things about these houses, so I want you to keep that in mind as we're going. All right, the goal here for me at this point is to really begin to help you to tap into you and help you to understand that collectively what's going on affects everyone, and if you can be aware of how it affects you, then you can move differently, and then you can have more power of your creations. Okay, so within the air energy, my loves, you have the card the moon in Gemini. We're pulling from the zodiac deck today. So you got the moon in Gemini, which is about indecisions. You know, some people may be wondering, should I stay, should I go? Now, that's not honestly, I'm not surprised about that energy, because we are in retrograde energy. You can find people spinning within the next couple of days also. All right. Now when we come out of Pisces, right, we're going back into Aries. So then you can find people coming out of a place of illusion, and then they get into that Aries energy in the next 2 days, because we're talking about emotional energy here. Then they get out of that get into that Aries energy in the next 2 days, and then there goes that just stubbornness. Okay, just you can, or it can be very focused energy. Okay, now there is some decisions that may need to be made, okay, especially when it comes to how you think about something. All right, what you're thinking about something, right? So there's some decisions that may need to be made. Now, which leads me to something else, guys. I'm gonna go off for a second here, right? For the past 2 nights, I've been noticing there's been bats flying outside. All right, so I see the bats flying outside on the side of the house where the lake is, right? And I've seen that for the past 2 days, which then prompted me to go look up exactly, what the spiritual meaning of bats represented. So it's all about major change, and also being able to navigate in the darkness when you're not quite sure how to you're not quite sure the outcome. You know that you're going to make it. You know that there's something there, but the navigation aspect of it, you're not quite sure how you're going to navigate through this, right? And the bats represent being able to do just that, right? To be able to see in the dark and to navigate. So I feel like that message also is for some of you, right? Although you may feel like you're indecisive and you don't know what to do or how to do it right now, and it feels like it's coming all together, but you're not quite sure what to tweak. And for some of you, this is also things in your life or in people in your life. Okay, should I stay? Should I go? Like what are we doing here? Right? And I feel like a lot of people, especially like when I look at my circle, that's one thing that I've been seeing is there are people that are waking up, and really standing up for themselves in this energy, really standing up for themselves in a different way in this energy, right? Or and I find that the stand up is like a quiet internal stand up, and then is projected outwardly. Okay. Now the thing about that is, some of them, when they're projected outwardly, it's not coming out very with sugar and honey. It's not. It's coming out very, very um, in some cases affirmative, and in some cases aggressive, just depending on what that person have been dealing with the situation within that situation. But I find that people are starting to stand up for themselves. Now, I will say this to you, right? I also find that spiritually, right, you also have the energy from the ancestors, the energy from whatever you're tapping into, like showing up for you in a different way. Right, so if you're dealing with any of the spiritual deities, you're finding that these energies are showing up in a different way. It's like bolder energy, right? There's a boldness coming forth, and there's also a call back to nature for those of us that are tapping into elementals. Like right now, the sole of my feet is vibrating as I said that. Right, I told you guys I've been standing in the grass, yeah, right, and after those two experiences, the last two experiences of standing in the grass, I've literally felt my whole the energy portal, the sole of my feet, just like, it was just beautiful, y'all. Okay, so let's jump on over to the wonderful water energy. So if you're dealing with water energy, but you're not a water sign, you're going to be dealing with your emotions. You're going to be dealing with your feelings here, right? That energy is going to be Cancer, Scorpio, as well as Pisces, right? So you can tap into the Cancer, which is the I feel energy. Scorpio is the desire energy, which brings transformation. And then you have the wonderful Pisces energy, which can hold up some illusions, but the question is going to be acts of service or sacrifices, okay? You really have to understand the purpose, so or so to speak, right? So the message for you guys today is the eclipse energy in Virgo. Now, moon energy has to do with emotions, right? Now, eclipse energy has to do with change, and this change can happen over a period of time. So unlike a transit with a normal moon transit where you have just energy happening every 2 days or 2.5 days, you can find with eclipse energy, it spreads out a little longer in time. And the message with the eclipse in Virgo is reorganization today, right? You have to choose your duties and just be careful about what's priority today. Just choose your responsibilities carefully today. Okay. Analyze what needs to be done as you're moving through this energy, especially if you feel like you're moving through some unknown territory, if you're moving through the dark right now, right? You just want to be able to put forth that which needs to be done right away, and don't overanalyze things today emotionally, is the message also here, right? You don't want to overanalyze things, right? You have your ear energy saying pay attention to your thinking. Now you have your emotions saying you may have to literally choose what you spend time in emotionally today, right? You may have to choose that. Okay. So now we're going to go on over to the wonderful fire energy. And if you are a fire sign, that will be Aries, Leo, as well as Sagittarius. But if you're not a fire sign, you can tap into this energy in the aspect of your intuitive self, but also the self that's going to require some type of action or movement. Okay. This is how you can tap into this energy. Now, the energy that's representing this element is the eclipse in Taurus. So I gotta say, there's a lot of eclipse energy showing up here today. So the dominant energy on the board is eclipse energy, because Earth signs also is sitting in eclipse energy. So you have eclipse in Taurus, which is all about re-evaluation, right? This is having a change of heart for something, right? Now we're talking here about, remember, paying attention to your intuition, because fire energy is intuitive, right? But fire energy can also burn some shit up, right? Fire energy is where your willpower and your ego lies, also within that Leo energy, right? And then you also have the Aries energy, which can make you focus, but that energy can also be aggressive if it's not disciplined, as well as I want to fight, right? It can be explosive energy that wants to fight, because it's ruled by Mars. That's the planet of war, right? As well as protection, right? So you have the eclipse energy, where you're going to find that you may be reevaluating some things as this energy expands. So it may not just be today. This can happen over a period of time. All right. Yeah. A change of heart is coming as you reevaluate things. You're in a place where you need to make some decisions. And a lot of people are in that place, right? The kids are getting ready to go on vacation for some of you. My kids just recently went on vacation as of Friday. So yeah, so people, so the energy has already started to shift, with people priorities are starting to shift also, right? Now, last but not least, we have the wonderful earth element. Okay. If you are not an earth sign, and I don't think I went through the fire energy, so let me just reverse. If you are not a fire sign, but you want to tap into that element, you can tap into the Aries energy, which is your first house. I am versus I am not energy, right? So really standing in your confidence of how you want to be seen and what you stand for, right? Or you can tap into the Leo energy. This is where your ego and your willpower dwells, okay? Ego or spirit, right? And then you can tap in also to the Sagittarius energy, which is very perceptive, okay? So you can also utilize that energy, okay? Now, let me just say this also, okay? As you move on over to the earth element, you do not have to be an earth sign to tap into this. This element is about the physical things, the physical world, the matter, okay, the material things, okay, the house, the car, the bill, the job, the responsibility that lies with, there to take care of these things, okay? So you want to just pay attention to earth energy, which is going to be Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. If you are not a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, you can definitely tap into the energy with the Taurian energy, right? I have versus I have not, utilizing what you have, and looking at what you don't have, and making whatever balance needs to come in there, right? Now you can also utilize Capricorn's energy, which is I use versus I don't use. How are you utilizing the things you have in your life, right? And then you can tap into Virgo's energy, where you're analyzing things, right? Or not, right? But you're analyzing them from a place of your health and your well-being, right? Now, if you are not an earth sign, you can still, like I said, tap into this energy. And the message here is the eclipse in Gemini, negotiation. All right, you're going to have to rise to the challenge, right? You got new paths open in here, new ways of doing things, new ways of seeing things, right? So it's really a message here within all of these elements. You start off with some indecision. You're going to have to reorganize and reevaluate some things, right? That may not be working, or that may be working that you need to expand. And then you're going to have to come in for the things that are not working, or for someone that's trying to come in and get more from a situation where it is not balanced, right? You're going to have to make some decisions and renegotiate some things. What works for you and what doesn't, right? The goal here is for you to be your authentic self. which then gives others the freedom to do the same. The world does not change by you changing another person. The world changes when you, the individual, decide that you are ready to change. And in each and every one of us decides that we are ready to change, and we are consistent within seeking that change within ourselves, right? Change will unfold and the world will be a much more beautiful place than it is. And we're seeing that now. People are going within themselves and they're seeking to do that change. Right? You're seeing that now. So, this is not about me really helping you. This is about me showing up for me, which then inspires and encourages you to show up for you as I be, you be. You are a reflection of me. Create your reality. Don't allow anyone to tell you that you can't be, you can't do, you can't have. It doesn't exist. Not if you feel it does. Not if you in your heart want to experience that. We can map out and we can explain down to a T all of the things that we don't want, because we've been through so much as people. So much as human beings. You've been through so much, right? And you can map out to a T what you don't want, what you don't need. And then sometimes people get stuck on a simple question. Well, okay, well, what do you want? Right? That's the thing that we do not ask ourselves sometimes. What do you really want? I really wanted to stand out today, sit out today rather, and do the daily vibrations because it was so beautiful and I really wanted you guys to see that. But I got to be honest, I've been doing this now for 65 days because we are currently, my loves, y'all know, and I got to say, like, this journey has helped me to remain consistent within me, right? It really has. We are day number 65. We got 35 more days left to go, right? 35 more days left to go. Now, I don't fully understand the unfolding of what's going on in this energy, as far as I understand that everything is unfolding, right? And when I say I don't fully understand, I'm not talking about cosmically. I'm talking about the changes that's happening within me that I'm seeing in real time, that I'm experiencing in real time. Don't fully understand it yet. But as I begin to sit back and really focus on what I need, what makes me happy, what works, because you have already experienced what don't work. It's literally like things are unfolding in front of me. I'm finding that I'm having experiences with people where I have created this beautiful space for myself. And people that literally, 6 feet away from me, are having a totally different experience. Totally different experience. Totally different experience. So that's yeah. As soon as they step out their door, as soon as they step out their door, they're having totally different experiences than I am. I'm all in the elements and in the trees and meeting all of these beautiful people and experiencing these beautiful things. And then when I hear stories, I just think, one, I'm grateful, right? And two, it lets me know that I definitely have created and cultivated a space for myself and my family where no weapon, no weapon. And I'm just grateful, y'all. I've been hearing a lot of stories. I haven't really been watching the news, but I've been hearing stories, and I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful, guys. Anyway, my love, so I'm gonna let you guys go, right? You know the deal. Do something kind for yourself, love yourself, honor yourself, okay? Don't be afraid of the dark, because out of darkness comes enlightenment. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's Daily Vibration. Hey, my lovelies. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Daily Vibration. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. My name is Kamoy, and we are doing the Daily Vibration for June 1st,